All right, guys. Crazy morning, a little bit late because we had a lot of news this morning. All right, it's Wednesday, March 22nd, FOMC day. That's going to be a Fed decision at 2 p.m., conference call at 2:30 p.m. It's going to be wild. We got big news to talk about with DRIO, but before we do that, let's just take a look at what's going on with the indices and the banking stocks. You can see they're down today. Banking stocks are down ahead of FOMC. You're not going to make much sense out of this in pre-market. Everything's kind of waiting. You're going to be all over the place. Let's just only thing we can really look at is let's look at QQQ and SPY, see where we are with the chart. Okay, QQQ, man, this looks so bullish. My gosh, if I didn't know anything about what's going on in the world, I would be like slamming down QQQ now. But it's a little tough to do that with FOMC. So look at that, right? It looks like a cup and handle. It looks like it wants to challenge this high here of 313.68. If you take out 313.68, then boom, right? That's what it looks like. But I'm not making any big bets ahead of FOMC today. You look at SPY, it's not as pretty. Now, there's a lot of data underneath the hood, which doesn't look as good. This movement in QQQ is really about money moving into Google, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla. Tesla yesterday, really, but the big mega cap companies. That's what this is about. Under the hood, there's a lot of selling. They're selling in SPY. They're selling in other technology companies. So this is very interesting. This has really been a flight to safety, flight to quality, something I didn't anticipate. When we were talking about, what happened with the banking crisis and the ECP decision, I was like, flight to gold as safety, flight to TLT, but no. Although there was some of that, is really a flight to this can last. Okay, so be careful there today at 2 p.m. Now let's look at our individual stocks. Again, before we hit DRIO, I just want to note Tesla hit our 200 target. We put this out yesterday morning. That was a big winner. The stock was like what yesterday morning? 186. I said $200. I hit 200 this morning. I did get into call options. I held some overnight. I'm going to sell the rest of my call options this morning. I'm just too worried about the market reaction after FOMC. Although if it's going to be a good reaction, then your target's 217 on Tesla. Okay, this has still room to the upside. Same thing with Meta. Meta, if you're going to have continuation with the Nasdaq, then your target's 227. I think I'm rather kind of sit to the sidelines and wait for things to settle down. Maybe get the analysis and see what the market's thinking, and then jump back into long tomorrow if that seems to be the direction the market wants to go. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So that was Tesla and Meta. Now let's go to big news on DRIO. We've been waiting for this for a long time. You can see not much of a reaction out of the market this morning, but this is going to be huge, I believe, for sentiment, perhaps more than anything else. This is AMWL expands. There's actually two press releases. I think one came out by AMWL, because they look different. So AMWL put one out and DRIO put one out, okay? And they're slightly different. So you can actually look at both of them to get a little bit more details. But in any case, look at this. AMWL expands digital clinical programs. AMWL. Let's just take a look at AMWL. I've heard of them. Okay, they're a $680 million company. I thought they were much bigger. Okay, so in any case, they're getting access to 90 million covered lives through AMWL. This has been that large strategic deal has been talking about. Aris has been talking about for a long, long time. Now, I don't understand the implications of exactly how this works. All I know is Aris thinks this is a big deal. He thinks it's going to be helping DRIO bring in a significant amount of other health insurance plans. So exactly the mechanism of how that works in the marketplace and where AMWL fits into the marketplace and where DRIO fits into AMWL, all of that we have to learn more and put in a message to Erez this morning so I could talk to him so then I can educate you guys on that. And then we'll also try to get him or Rick Anderson for an interview soon to discuss the implications of this deal. But, the main takeaway is, look, Erez is delivering. It's just on delayed timelines is what I'm seeing. So I think this is going to be really good for sentiment. Let's see if we can break the 20 DMA today at 442. If we can, a possibility we can challenge $5. I'm not sure it's going to happen right away because the impact, the implication of this doesn't pop out at you if you're not familiar with what AMWL is. I'm not, right? So I'm not sure the rest of the market would immediately say, oh, let's pump this thing up. But it may trickle through if it is indeed as significant as Erez has been hinting to us, then perhaps DRIO could throughout the day have a good day, break the 20 DMA, and head towards $5. So that's what I'm looking at on DRIO. Again, we talk about Tesla, Meta, Air. Unbelievable. This is on breakout watch, as Vince said. Well, I also noted yesterday, this broke well above the 20 and 50 DMAs. We covered the news here last night, and this is crazy. 37.57 is the high. Earnings are next Thursday after the close. If this breaks 37.57, I think you see a four handle on this. So 37.57, your breakout level. The ask is 37.49 right now. So 40, that's the target. If it breaks 37.57, particularly if you can see that it's holding 37.57 after the break, maybe give it a chance to test it. An unbelievable company. I got shaken out of ultimately 75% of my shares here at $31 on this news. Thank God I didn't get shaken out at 23, 24, 25. But in any case, let's see. That's on watch for possible breakout and a much bigger move up. GameStop, we covered this last night. There were two big earnings last night. It was GameStop and Nike. We had definitely avoided Nike and did play GameStop, even though they were both big beats. So why did we play GameStop? Well, GameStop, I'll tell you first why we avoided Nike, because Nike did not have guidance in the press release. So it was a little bit suspicious. Later, we found out on the conference call, they said that their margins are going to take a 250 basis point hit on their margins, although they're increasing their revenue guide from mid-single digits for year over year to high single digits. So increasing the revenue guide a little bit, but 250 basis point hit on margins. And you can see that this stock did not react good to the huge earnings beat, right? Huge earnings beat, but it doesn't matter. It's guidance that matters. And that's the story there. And then we're looking at what's the guidance going to be on GameStop, because GameStop also had a huge beat. And GameStop, this really started rocketing last night when there was a comment by the CEO in the conference call that they have a path to full year profitability. Yes, they had profitability, nice profitability in the quarter, big beat, but he said we have a path to full year off. Right now, it's at resistance. So this was our target right here. 26.50 was our target right now. That's the 200-day moving average. I played this last night from like 25 or so to about 26.40. You can see it right there. It's on the 200 DMA. So, personally, I wouldn't be buying this at the 200 DMA, but maybe something to watch. This is highly shorted. So, maybe this is a spot to buy if it proves to be support today. If it can break above this level, 26.50, 26.60, be tested, proves to be support, maybe that's a buy for a trade. But right now, it's right at the resistance. Like, I don't want to be buying at the top if this proves to be resistance today. So GameStop for me at this price, not the price I want to be in at it, but the possible crazy price action in GameStop because of the high short position. LLAP, look, we got lots of things going on this. Now, it was a disappointment, the price reaction and everything with earnings. The revenue was actually good. People are worried they need to raise money. That's the story here. But here we got a bunch of catalysts. First of all, there was news this morning on the Lockheed Martin feed. Didn't come through on the LLAP feed. Let's see if I can see it here, actually. Apparently, it's 6 a.m. this morning. There was some news. Is it on this? Is 3:22, 8 a.m., 3:22. No, it's not here, but it's going around a lot of places. People have seen it. My TD's not catching it. But there is some contract that LLP and Lockheed Martin are involved in. But it's not really new news. It's part of a tranche of business that we're already involved in, but maybe some sort of extension or additional components of the contract being added. So this was moving this morning, like in the early pre-market is in the 170s. So a little bit of a catalyst there this morning, but not really new news to me or people following the company closely. But there were two events, okay? 2:30 p.m., no one's going to be watching it. They are going to be speaking at a conference, speaking at, is it here? Come on. They're going to be speaking at a conference today. Okay, it's in here somewhere. But again, everyone's going to be watching the Fed. Sidoti Small Cap Conference at 2:30 p.m. today. Okay, now, listen, I've been in touch with investor relations. I've given some feedback on messaging and the big elephant in the room about financing and how they're going to address that. So hopefully they'll take that feedback. They actually wrote back and they appreciated the feedback and everything. So maybe the messaging will be a little different from the CEO today, 2:30 p.m., of how they're going to bridge this potential financing gap. Okay. Second thing, after reading through the conference call transcript again, I actually am much more bullish now than I was yesterday regarding the impact of Rivada. If Rivada gets approved here by the ITU, and we're going to have that decision no later than Tuesday. I contacted ITU. They got back to me. They said, good chance it'll be out on their website Monday and definitely by Tuesday. So we will know. And if you go look at the minutia of the details in the conference call, you are going to find out here, if you read between the lines, it seems to me that LLAP is going to get at least a $25 million payment shortly after this ITU is approved. I think it's clear to me the financing for Rivada is directly linked to ITU approval, and I'm not sure there's much risk there. I think that financing comes in after ITU approval, and if you listen to a conference call, Terra and Orbital LLAP is going to hit the ground running really fast right after that, and this is not something that's going to hurt their cash flow. It's something that's going to help their cash flow. Again, possibly to the tune of $20 to maybe $30 million in Q2. So this is a big deal. Okay, so we have possible change in messaging at 2:30 p.m. today. Maybe later we'll listen to the recording. Catalyst number one. Catalyst number two, Monday, no later than Tuesday, we hear from the ITU. If we get approval, I think this thing skyrockets, or it should skyrocket, meaning if it doesn't do it instantly, man, I might pile into call options because I think it may happen over a day or two period after ITU approval. Big deal. So pay attention to LLAP, and I have pretty good confidence we're going to get approved. Could easily be wrong, but based on what I know and the research I've done with a few other people actually on this, I'm expecting approval. ASUR Software, ASUR, there was an insider sale yesterday. We are interviewing the CEO next Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. All right, we'll put that in the app today, so stay tuned for that. This is one of Chris Tarbert's favorites, and 20 DMA here at 1327 has been holding up. Russell 2000 inclusion play. This has been one of the best performers here in the community recently, so we'll see how it reacts to the insider sale, and then we'll talk to the CEO on Wednesday. LAZR, Goldman Sachs came in with a sell. Unbelievable. A sell rating here. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to predict anything here. I'll just tell you the technicals, right? We're right now, it's basically gapping right at a key level. This might be it, 723. If above it, then you could be in for a move to $6 over some period. Okay, so Goldman Sachs, you can take a look at their reasoning on that. I mean, I didn't love their reasoning. It was weird. They're basically saying we predict their margins will not last over time because of competition, which was weird. They're like, yeah, they're the market leader, and because of competition from these two other micro caps, perhaps their margins aren't going to stay high, and therefore this high revenue to sales multiple they have, revenue to price multiple they have, is too much, and we recommend these tiny little micro caps no one ever heard of. Very weird to see coming out of Goldman Sachs. But in any case, that's the story there right now. It is trying to gap below these key moving averages. Again, if it doesn't break above 725 or close above it, I fear that $6 would be your target. Goldman Sachs has a $5 target on it. And they did say ways we can stay constructive on this is if they get more deals, noting they're already the market leader. And if somehow they're wrong about their margins eroding, then they'd be bullish. Weird. I don't know, man. But in any case, that's the story with LAZR. PERI is on watch. Why did I have this here? I had it. They must have had news this morning. No, they had an analyst price target maintained by it. Needham. We have this because of the Microsoft. If they take a Bing takes share, right? PERI will do well. Wow, PERI's actually, that's a nice little chart. What's the, let me see here, 37.18. So 37.18 is your level. That looks promising, man. What's this price target? Let's see Needham what they put for the price target on this. If we break 37.18, this can keep on going. So PERI, 15% upside, 42. So not huge according to Needham, but that chart looks really good, and the sentiment tailwind on this with Bing really good. But Google launched their Bard beta yesterday morning, and that really took off yesterday. That was another one that we just killed yesterday with call options. Oh, it's pulling back. But as soon as I saw that Bard news yesterday morning, look what Google did the rest of the day. It's just amazing how these mega caps run on sentiment, sometimes in much more predictable fashion than microcaps do. Probably most of the time in much more predictable fashion than microcaps do. It just goes to show you, for all those fundamental investors out there, that the big money, the investment managers, they care about sentiment, not just what's on a spreadsheet. They care about the instant reaction of, oh, this piece of news, this piece of catalyst could be good long-term for the company. Let me just buy hand over fist today and we'll figure it out later. I mean, that's definitely happening by big institutions. All right. In any case, let's see over here if we missed anything in the last 15 minutes. Oh, Targ. All right. Let's see. All right. We have a bunch of news. Okay. Let's scroll back. Let's scroll back to 8:55 because there are some things here to look at. All right, so SoFi, Carvana, okay, LLAP, I want to look at that. Lockheed Martin, strategic investment from Regent, NVIDIA, outperforming. NVIDIA had a couple price target increases this morning. So did Meta. Meta had a big price target increase this morning, by the way. So maintained with a 12 price target maintained. All right, $12 a share. That's interesting. Let's take a look at this here for 1 second. And we'll see. Wow, look at these. This whole benchmark. So they're maintaining at 12 after the earnings close. That was just an update. So maybe I can get a copy of that analyst report. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. 2 p.m. today, FOMC going to be crazy. Take care. We'll see you soon.